The Polestar brand finally has an SUV in its lineup with the 3, which is new for 2025. And like many fully electric SUVs like the Tesla Model Y and Hyundai Ioniq 5, it has a sleek exterior that gives it a sporty looking design. That shape though has consequences on the inside for the driver and passengers. There's a chiseled muscularity to the Polestar 3's design that gives it quite a bit of road presence, and that's balanced by Polestar's minimalist design ethos. Some interesting elements include this front spoiler on the leading edge right in front of the hood, a glass roof, and also these 22-inch forged aluminum wheels, which are part of the performance package. Also included in the performance package is a boost in output to 380 kilowatts, which is equal to 517 horsepower. And if you ever forget how much output your 3 has, they include it right on the front doors, as well as the size of the battery, which is 111 kilowatt hours. And that's a pretty big battery for a vehicle this size. The Polestar 3 has a low roofline, and you can feel that in the driver's seat. Forward visibility is limited a bit by this shorter windshield. And even though over-shoulder views are decent, rear visibility is also limited, and I found myself reversing more slowly than I otherwise would because of it. The suite of exterior cameras that are part of the Pilot package are useful and help compensate for the lack of natural visibility, but they're not a replacement for it. Most of the Polestar 3's controls are operated from the center 14.5-inch screen. It looks really great, it's high-res, responsive, and it's fairly straightforward to navigate when you're stationary because you have to devote a fair amount of attention to go through all the menus that it has. Though it's nice that it has a strip of climate controls right on the bottom that stay there. There's also a secondary 9-inch screen for additional driver information, which our editors liked having that here. You can switch through different views too, including a navigation view. Less praiseworthy though were these touchpad-based controls on the steering wheel. They're unlabeled, but they have pop-up icons on the screen for different functions that they offer. You do use them to adjust the steering wheel position and the side mirrors, and in that way they're a lot like Tesla, which does a similar thing for those adjustments, and it's made formerly easy things to adjust a bit harder in this vehicle. Unlike Tesla, the Polestar 3 offers wireless CarPlay, and it was fairly easy to connect my phone to the system and get it running, though I did notice that sometimes you have to reinitialize CarPlay because it will default back to Bluetooth phone connectivity. But when it's on the screen, it looks really great on that big display. It takes up all of the display, which doesn't always happen in some vehicles with these big screens. One feature, though, you can't get is Android Auto, which is the Android phone counterpart to CarPlay. This system is running Android Automotive OS with Google built in, so you can download specific apps from the Google Play Store if you log in with a Google account, but you don't have the ability to just plug in your phone and go like you can with CarPlay. For an EV with performance aspirations, the Polestar 3 is still very pleasant to drive in day-to-day use. And it doesn't feel as heavy or ponderous as some EVs do, despite having a curb weight that's approaching 3 tons. Power delivery is very smooth, and there's a lot of reserve power, so merging on the highway is a low-stress, effortless task. And that's in the standard non-performance drive mode. Ride quality with the adaptive air suspension is good, even with the large wheels and tires that our test car had. The ride is firm, but it's comfortable and is tolerable even on rougher pavement. Steering responses are quick and smooth, but it doesn't offer feedback in its standard setting. You do get some steering feel when it's in the firm setting. There's a little feedback in the steering wheel rim. Ride quality also deteriorates in the suspension's firm setting, but it doesn't turn brittle. In performance mode, acceleration is more responsive with plenty of reserve power on the highway. If this sounds like an EV that'll work for your lifestyle and needs, it's going to cost you more than $80,000 in this form, but choosing the base single motor version has a much lower price of entry at right around $60,000, and it also has longer EPA estimated range of 350 miles versus 279 miles for the performance. The base model isn't as quick though. It does 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds versus 4.5 for the performance. But either way, The Polestar 3 is a compelling alternative to mid-size electric SUVs from brands like Tesla, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz.